fighting is barbarism. It is violent. It is savage. It's modern day gladiators. And I'm sure a lot of us would gladly kill somebody for blood money in there, because that's part of the game. If you're not trying to do that, you should pick a different sport. Um, the savagery has dropped off a little bit. These kids these days, it's a little bland. So they're a little boring personality wise because it's what we needed in the sport. We don't need the savages that raised me that are all addicted and damaged and just not, they're all on drugs. And I deal with these people on a daily basis and they're not in good places. They're doing very bad. Now you have much more put together mentally, physically, technically. These athletes are just in a better place. This is what we wanted it to be. And sure, we miss the old days, but they're better than we were. So it's what we need. It's the evolution. Uh, but I know that myself was was one of the first iterations of someone that made this art. I made my violence into art, and I made it very pretty with passion instead of just pure craziness. And back to native cultures, warriors would go out and fight. Before they came back into society, they would have to sit with medicine, sit with a shaman and cleanse themselves of what they went through. And I know that this is becoming a thing. You see fighters left and right all over the place talking about psychedelics openly. And I came to the UFC back in 2019 before I pitched the study, and I said, "Hey, do you know that you don't test for psilocybin or LSD?" And there, Jeff Novitzky, the drug czar, was like, "Wait, hold on, should we?" I said, "Hold, no, no, no. I mean, just hear me out. Um, this is why you shouldn't do it. It heals old trauma, it protects from new trauma, and it leads to a much higher performative benefit. So this is going to happen no matter what. Like people are going to start taking this, and I know this because I send them products. Um, whether that's to the head office in the UFC or that's to the athletes themselves, people are taking the products that I'm partnered in, like nootropics and then Theo, um, because they know that they work and because we have the highest standard in the industry of making products. That's why we sponsor all the right parties. And we're, my team of people is all on stage talking and helping. And we've created an incredible ecosystem of products that helps. Um, and with martial arts, the fighting itself is the beautiful but negative part of fighting, if that makes sense. Um, because there's a chance for someone to die, and because it's war, and war is never good. But it's still beautiful and it's entertainment at this point because no one's going to actually die in there. There's a bunch of checks and balances to make sure that doesn't happen. Everyone is extremely tested. No one's ever died in the UFC, so they do their best. And some days someone probably will, but that's just that's part of the sport. Martial arts itself, fighting itself, is what saved my life. It's what saved many of our lives. Without it, I would for surely be dead. So, as I teach martial arts on a weekly basis, a couple days a week at least, I read philosophy after every class. I'm trying to build these athletes, young and old, uh, in physically, mentally, and spiritually, philosophically, trying to help them learn more about themselves and learn more about others, and um, go through pressurized situations where, whether they're microdosed or not. I had a coach one time, a very famous coach in the psychedelic space, teaching. He was going through a certification program. He goes, "Whatever you do not do or say anything that's going to change the emotional state of your clients." And I was like, "Excuse me?" I was like, "No, no, no. That's some weak bullshit. That's for soft individuals who just want to be safe." And it's like, no, this isn't a safe. That you can have a safe space. My shirts say a safe space for savages, but I need to physically choke my clients while they're dosed or not, doesn't matter, to pressurize them to where you're either going to be a burst pipe or you're going to be a diamond. And if you do burst, I want it to be on the mat with me and with the team of coaches that I have at my gym, because I don't want you bursting in front of your loved ones or at your work or driving and getting into a fight on the side of the road. Like I want these people to understand that through the teachings that we have for them, they're a better version of themselves. They're a better version of everybody else. Martial arts, as you know, makes you a better human. It makes you a stronger human mentally, physically, and spiritually, and it helps you protect people while you're protecting yourself. And I tell them you must carry yourself as a black belt on the mat and off the mat. That's not even if you're a black belt. You better carry yourself that way, or I'm not going to teach you. And I will when you come in here, I'll probably kick the shit out of you in the most loving way possible. If I hear you doing dumb things, if you're out hurting people and stuff, you're not welcome. Like this is about being a better version of a human, and trying to reach enlightenment because that's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to just find this ways to get in touch with source or God or whatever you want to call it.